Okay, so today we are going to do a orca animation tutorial since somebody recommended it. You guys can use any animation, Roblox add-ons at all, or just even um, Roblox's own animation system. I prefer to use Premiere just because it's a easier setup for me and I understand it better. I've been using it for a while now. But today we're going to be just using the Orca model Nova because I already have pre-made stuff for it and it should be good. But I will show you how to do simple animations using a different models. But I'm going to show you pre-made models I already made so you understand like the movement. They're not going to be as realistical as I need it to be, but I am going to update them frequently. Find it. Ooh, it's not in here. Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay. So let me just show you the frames for my simplest animations, which is swimming animation. And this is just a simple one. It goes all the way up to something that's more difficult, like a back bow. Which obviously this is still not as hard as I can get, but that's just examples of animations that I do mostly. But we are going to stop by one that I have not animated much, which is going to be Orion, which is not the main base, but we're going to animate with him today. Okay, so animating is pretty simple. Let me just show you like all the parts. So the main base is the orca root, the head joint, the spine joints, which are all these leading down to the tail. And then the main joints for the tail / fluke, and then the pectoral fins. The main ones I use is all the spine, the head. I don't really mess with pectoral or fluke fins because those add on to more complications for realism, but I do realism for some. I don't really do them with the orcas because the orcas movements take a lot more animating than regular animations do with like other cetaceans like dolphins, porpoises that have to have even more precision. But what we are going to animate, I'll just give you a short animation tutorial of how I'm going to animate a bow. It's really simple. So I recommend setting your first pose, like you will set it up. Let me just set it up quick. I prefer having the orca's mouth closed because it's more realistic. And then setting it up however you want to orca to look for the first frame. So, and then if it's already set, you just press rig and it will automatically put all the joints into an animation bundle. Like the keyframes onto a bundle. And then you can move anything just using these bones. I'm trying to get you a short tutorial of how I would do this. The only joint I really use for the tail is this main joint. But that's really all the joints I use for the tail. One thing I don't like about this model, and I will show you at the end of the video, I'll show you what the base model is and how I got it. The only bad part is the head does have issues with a curve right here, which can be obviously fixed if you have a better base model for it, or if you redo this. But I am not the best with fixing things like this, so it's just gonna be like that. Yeah. Okay, that one's kind of janky. A little bit too weird. So for this one, actually, I always remember workers always have like their face up a little bit. And then the further, let's do this. Besides that, yeah. Yeah, further they go. Maybe right down. See, sometimes this part gets a little bit janky for the head, which is okay. But for bows, I recommend adjusting with the tail because orcas always flop their tails when doing bows, from what I see. Then when you need to save something, you can either save, and if you didn't put a name already, you just put name, we'll put this as bow. And then save as, save and close, you save and close, you close it. Actually, I don't know all these, obviously. Toggling loop, which you can just press this, it will loop the animation. The adding items option is where you add another rig into it, but you have to put that into, let's see, mind that. You have to add that into a Moon Animator 2 thing, so you have to switch it. It will tell you if you switch it. I don't have a model I can use right now though. So for all the videos you guys see where there's no bones, I use handles. I use handles and then I press bone cone and bone sphere and it moves the bones. Adding camera. Let me show you what adding camera does. So you add a camera, which is gonna ask you to do Moon 2 file, which is good. So when you add a camera, you add a, hold up, let me see if I can figure this out again. Okay, there we go. So what you do is you set up, like, let's say you want to look at the orca, like, right here. You put a feud of view, you press that, and then a C frame. And then when you're, like, all the way over here, it will lock your camera into that frame while doing the animation. Like, you could still move after and everything, but, like, if you just want to lock your camera into a view where you see the orca, even if you're far away from the view, it will lock your camera into that motion. That's mostly all I have for this, really. I'm not the best with Moon Animator, but I do know at least the main premise of it. But yeah, that's mostly all. If you guys want animation tutorials for any of the other big models I have, you guys can recommend it or do a suggestions in the Discord for anything you want me to add to the games or anything. Just let me know. And that's really all today. Peace out, guys. Let me know what you guys want.